Big up Therapy Army. Excuse my level of energy. I'm in a bit of a pain. Got broken ribs. Yeah, I've had a bit of an accident and I got broken ribs, people. So should we start again? Let's start again. Let's start again, people. If I sound a bit, if I wince, you know what's up. I got a broken, got a couple of broken ribs here, just under my chest here, just on the side. Oof, painful. Had a bit of an accident, people, but I'm all good. So let's start that again. Welcome to United Real Therapy. If I wince, you know what it is. But big up to everybody. Big up to you. Definitely R.I.P. Cathy. Our thoughts are with Alex Ferguson, his family, all his friends and family, and everybody that knew Cathy. So we thank Cathy, Cathy, for her, for her service, because without Fergie being focused, what she did, she took care of everything for him. So he's just focused on Manchester United. So we thank him. We thank him, her, and our thoughts are with him and this difficult time with the Ferguson family. So love and light and rest in peace, Lady Cathy Ferguson. Big up to all of you. Like I said, I'm in pain, but I had to do the show. I could not come on here and do the show, people. I've had an accident and I'm in pain. Got a couple of broken ribs. So a lot of pain, people, a lot of pain. So if you hear me wincing, just so you know, it is what it is. But show must go on. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. We not only have to do a preview, but we've got a lot to talk about. Big up to everybody. Love and light. And yeah, that's, a lot of pressure on this game. A lot of pressure on this game. The question I want to ask you tonight, people, is it a must-win game for Manchester United tomorrow? Is it a must-win game? Is it a must-win game? Thank God somebody turned up. There's no way I can do this show by myself tonight, Tom. I've got a couple of broken ribs, bro. Underneath.
Bloody hell! What's happened to you? You've been doing a madness around the town, then. The Glazers aren't sold up yet. They haven't sold up yet, mate.
R.I.P. Cathy Ferguson. Tom, I'm sure you want to pay your condolences to a stalwart, somebody who had Fergie's back while Fergie fixed Manchester United. No, it wasn't a bike accident. It was another accident, but it wasn't a bike accident. But big up to Beat Georgie. So I sound a bit croaky. I sound a bit like because I'm in a lot of pain. But Tom, I'm sure you want to pay your respects to the woman that was behind the powerhouse. That's Fergie, and she let him just focus on Manchester United.
That's it, yeah. And we know about successful people. If you don't have that successful person next to you, it could be anybody, a friend, your mother, your father, or in Charles Ferguson's case, his partner, his wife for many years. At the end of the day, if you don't have that strong person in your life who inspires you or you can open up to and talk to about anything, you're not going to get very far in life. Or you're just going to bottle everything up and then emotions are just going to run as far as they run. But I know of a story with Cathy anyway. It was in 2002 where Ferguson were looking at either retiring from the game or potentially leaving United, and he talked him out of leaving Manchester United, and he said, no, this city, this actual environment, the culture, everything's what we believe in, and it's what you've believed in for many years. And if you felt differently, Alex, then why did we move from Scotland? Why did we come down here? We come down here for a reason. And it's a supporters club, working class people. And it was what it was, we already know the history of United, Newton Heath and everything. And she talked him out of it at the end of the day. And there's many people that you can say in football. Even nowadays, we can say it. But yeah, rest in peace to Cathy Ferguson. Absolute legend for what she's done for Sir Alex Ferguson as a partner of many years. But I think even for a lot of United fans, because she really, if we're being honest with what I've just told everybody there, she kept him at this football club for another 8, I think it was 13 years since he retired from that point on. So at the end of the day, pay her condolences to not only her, but also, the family and everybody. And, we always, on behalf of United Real Therapy, we wish everybody well from that family anyway. That family's given us a lot of joy and happiness over the years, people. So least we can do is leave our respects and condolences to the family.
Yeah, man. Big up, Tom. Yeah, 100%. I echo everything you said. On behalf of this community, man, innit, we wish them we wish them well, and we send them love, and our thoughts are with them in this difficult time. And our thoughts are with Ferguson, the legend. They got my broken rib took me 10 days, no sneezing, laughing. Yeah, I can't laugh, so I'm not gonna be able to laugh. Tom, don't.
I'll mute.
Don't do it to me. Oh shit. Listen, I can't even walk. I can't even sit down properly. I can't lie down. It's just pain. It's just pain. Loads of pain, but it is what it is. Yeah, big up Natalie. Listen, Tom, the question is, let's get into it first of all. Get on with the show. Is it a must-win game tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not hearing any of these people from anybody about drawing. We'll take a draw. We're on a bad run of form. No, we're winning. We're winning. I'm not having any of this shite about we're going to take a point. Brentford, they're a bogey team of ours. I don't want to hear it. We should win tomorrow. We're at home. We've got the Old Trafford faithful behind us, Stretford End. And at the end of the day, the manager needs a reaction from these players because, boy, the last 2 games, mate, they've shut the bed. Let's be real. They have shut the bed on him the last 2 games. And for me, from what I'm looking at it anyway, we need to get some sort of form back here. We need to build something because we was talking before, it was 2 games prior to the ones that we played, that we actually had a decent run leading up to the Manchester derby, and we thought if we can build up a bit of steam and momentum, even with the Champions League games, that we could then build some sort of a passion going into the Manchester derby and maybe put up a good performance against them. But at the end of the day, what I think has been sort of coined with United around being toxic and fragile at the moment, I think really you have to say it for what it is. It's true. At the end of the day, what I want to see with Ten Hag tomorrow especially is I want him to make a bold statement, really. And what I mean by a bold statement is do something that's going to surprise a lot of the supporters. Whether that's you put Hannibal on the pitch again, which is, have been a surprise sort of feature in the last couple of games, or you drop one of the big stars that we, as we discussed, and he relied upon for so much last season in Fernandes or Rashford. If you took one of those 2 out of the team, then there's going to be some sort of a statement. Yeah, we know that the stories are going to come from and everything. That's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't really care. But I'd rather have that player fired up and angry, and then they come on after, say, 60 minutes, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to prove the fucking gaffer wrong. I'm going to say why I should fucking start and why I should play for Manchester United. And at the end of the day, he managed to get this football club and this similar group of players, a couple more additions, from that 4-0 battering that we had at Brentford last season. And in that Liverpool game, there was something that changed in that week that inspired those players to start to play for him. And at the end of the day, the one thing that I'd love to see from Ten Hag is do something different. I want to see something different in the game. I don't want to see the same style of play. I don't care if you pick a new formation, you pick a couple new players, whatever you do. I just want to see something that's going to be different for the supporters and for us to watch. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if you're going to the game, Nuruddin, in the condition that you're in anyway or anything, but for a lot of mates that I had that went to that Galatasaray game, they need to show something better than what they showed on that night. 100%. Because the people that paid on that night, they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve the shambles that we had towards the end of that game. Not in a open house chance. And at the end of the day, I just think let's get some consistency and let's, if you like, get some heat off your manager's back. You want to play for this fucking guy. You've already won a trophy with this guy. He's clearly an ambitious coach because he wouldn't have come to Manchester United elsewise. As we've already coined it, the hardest job in world football, I would say. He's took the balls to come here and play with you guys as the players and use you guys. Give him some favours back, give him some trust back, play for him. Do the instructions of what the manager wants with you. Because if this is, correct if I'm wrong, this isn't an Eric Ten Hag way at this team. This isn't. We know how Eric Ten Hag wants to play. We've seen it at Ajax. So at the end of the day, I want to see some implementation of something new. Or, as I say, Nuruddin, drop one of the big boy stars and let the media make a story about it. But if you win the game, who's going to give a crap? Nobody.
Big up, man. Oof, in a lot of pain, people. In a lot of pain, honestly. Genuinely, I was thinking about not doing this, but you know what? Therapy Army, we're in pain together. Whether it's physical, in my broken ribs, or Manchester United mental pain. But big up to everybody. Bumbaye, welcome. Let me just go through this, and then I'll get Bumbaye's 2 pence on this. How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, good, man. Thanks for having us on. How you doing? What's wrong? You're in pain?
Yeah, I've got a couple of broken ribs.
What?
Even when I'm talking, man, I'm in pain.
Oh man.
Big up to listen. Right. Yeah. Let me just say, so just go through a little bit of the match facts tonight. Manchester United left back Reguilón will miss out on the 4th consecutive match with hamstring problem. Winger Anthony made his favourite appearance. A month substitute midweek could start. Brentford injury list shows no sign of clearing up with sideline players including Rico Henry and Josh De Silva. Ben Mee, who has a muscle injury, is the closest to return, but will not be fit in time for this weekend. Match facts: Manchester United have won 3 of their 4 Premier League meetings, losing the other 4-0. Wow. Brentford have lost 5. Lost their 5 most recent away games against United in all competition. Last winning there in February 1937. The Bees are yet to score at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Well, that's going to change tomorrow. Manchester United have been beaten in 5 of their past 7 games in all competitions. They have lost 6 of their opening 10 matches this season for the first time in 37 years. United could lose at least 5 of their opening 8 league fixtures in a season for the first time since 1986, which happened weeks before Sir Alex Ferguson was appointed. The Manchester United are in danger of suffering 3 home league defeats in a row for the first time since February 1977. Eric Ten Hag's side have conceded first in each of their past 3 home league games. They've used 25 players in Premier League in 2023-2024. A joint high with Sheffield United. Yeah, we might have, but 2 players stay permanent. Rashford and Bruno stay permanent. Brentford are winless in 5 Premier League matches, drawing 3, losing 2. They have dropped a joint division high 8 points from winning positions this season. The Bees have gone 6 of the top flight away games without a win, drawing 2, losing 4, but are unbeaten in each of their past 6 away league London derbies. Neil Maupay has failed to score in any of his past 29 Premier League appearances. So, people, that's the reality. Bumbaye, the question is simple before I go and get a drink.
Yeah.
Is it a must-win game tomorrow for Manchester United?
I think so, for the sake of breaking the losing streak. I think Wenger said any team can lose a game. If you lose 2, it's worrying. If you lose 3 in a row, it's a crisis. I'm sure a lot of people have played the game, whatever sport you've played. When you're on a losing streak, mentally, you just need to break that cycle. We're on a 4-game losing streak, which is a real crisis for any team, let alone Manchester United. So just for that alone, I think we really have to get 3 points from anywhere by any means necessary. Just blow the whistle a win, 3 points, break the seal, hopefully start to turn that tide again. Because that's how this works for us at the minute. You go up a little bit, then it's a hard come down. You go up a little bit, it's a hard come down. We can't start to go up again without getting 3 points from somewhere and breaking this streak. So yeah, I think two teams not quite hitting the heights, so there's a lot to play for. Going into any Man United game now, I'm still trying to explain to my really good friends that we talk football. I say, look, it's not just Burnley, it's not just Brentford. It's about us. What are we gonna display? What kind of performance are we gonna give? And it's a little bit in the unknown again now. We've been down here before, where you go into games and it looks like, oh, we're gonna get something today, or we're not quite at the races. And if we can see the goal early, or we go 1-0 down at any point in the game, it's all a bit haphazard. We just got to stay focused and keep it simple, do the basic stuff well, really put a shift in. I think that's one thing Brentford ask of you. They make you work because they work really hard. Okay, the quality sometimes is not there for them, and they have players missing too in this fixture. But it's going to be a test of wills. But we do have quality in areas that they don't, and if that can shine through, hopefully we can get the 3 points. What do you think, Tom?
I think at the end of the day, with the way that Brentford have been in recent weeks, like for me, the way that I look at it, they've lost the goalkeeper in the summer. They lost David Raya, so they've lost the actual ability to maybe play out from the back as fluently as they had done.
Sure.
I think they've lost the best defender in Rico Henry for me by a clear mile. I like the kid, left back, rapid up and down the wing, up and down that line, every single thing, yeah, every single game, yeah.
Well, Tom, where did he go, Rico Henry?
He's got a season-ending injury. He's out for the whole season.
Oh, that's wow.
But they don't know the full extent of it. That's why they haven't planned the surgery package for him, and then they don't know the recovery time. But they said minimum will be for the end of the season. He'd be lucky to make next season's pre-season for them, which I think is a bit suckish. And I think the kid was on his way to maybe even getting into the England squad for international. So I think it is a little bit gutting for him. But even saying that, I mean, we obviously know the big one with Ivan Toney missing everything. But listen, they've got good attackers. I think Burma was a good player. Vissa as well. Like these players, they're very dynamic. They're very intricate. They know one another's games and styles. They'll know where each other will be in the box. And big anyway on the counter attack, mate. They can kill you. They can absolutely kill you. So at the end of the day, with us, if we want to sit in their box, I'm happy for it. Yeah, that's fine. But we need to be disciplined and control the ball. That's the one thing, because if we're letting these loose passes go and getting counter-attacked on at the other end and everything, it'll be a long game. And if Brentford don't score one from a counter-attack, I'd be shocked. But they haven't been great this season. That's the only thing that I'll say with them. And away from home, they've been shocking, completely honest with you. As much as we've been shiting for pretty much most of the season, they've been shocking away from home.
Yeah, that record is only bettered. It's not Clash of the Titans exactly, is it? It's Clash of the underachievers. This one.
Underachievers.
Don't try and make me laugh, please.
All right, okay.
I'm in pain.
Bloody hell.
Try and make me laugh. Big up to everybody. Sorry, I'm in a bit of pain.
What did you do? Start hitting yourself after Galatasaray? What the hell's happened here? Bloody hell, bro.
No, United breaking records for the wrong reason. Spineless FC. There you go. Ollie broke records and Ten Hag's breaking records.
He did say, everything comes to an end. These are to break records. I'm sorry. I won't make you laugh. All right. I'll be serious. I'm sorry. You weren't lying when they said they broke you. I'm here all week. I'm here all week, guys.
Ah, stop making me laugh.
Uh,
It's not fair, bro.
oh man. All right. Bloody hell.
It's not fair, bro. It's not fair. Honestly, it's not fair. Yeah, man, love. So definitely that rules me out. I thought I might get a couple of minutes tomorrow on the pitch. Me and a couple of other fans were trying to get on the pitch, but I'm definitely ruled out. Forget about injuries. I definitely cannot help them tomorrow. They're on their own, mate. They're on their own. Tomorrow, I don't want to see no hoofball like they're getting run down by ultras. I want to see ball sticking to feet, proper passes, and finally putting the ball in the back of the net. Big up, Natalie. Natalie, I think tomorrow is all about by any means necessary.
It is.
Yeah,
It really is.
that's it.
It's by any means necessary tomorrow. That's what it is. It's by any means necessary. I admit, Ole was crap, but Ten Hag's proven to be worse. Wow. People are coming out for him. People are coming out for him.
Do
People.
you know, I just want to say, Dino, I once said that Ollie isn't a legend. That was a mistake. Ollie is a legend.
Ole is a legend as a player, 100%. As a manager,
He's a
no chance.
as a Manchester United, as a
Player.
player, legend.
He's a legend,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I said something. I said no, he's not. That was when it was going really bad, and I want to take that back and withdraw that comment. Ollie, I love Ollie. He's a major legend. You
Yeah,
know,
as
and
a
Ten
player.
Hag is a living legend.
Why are you trying to kill me? Stop it, man. What the? I'm getting you. What was the worst thing tonight, honestly? Oh, God. Have you checked the WhatsApp group? I sent you a brilliant
Let's have a look.
clip from Twitter, from Twitter, from fellow countrymen. So yeah, you gotta go and check out Twitter. I sent it this morning, this afternoon. So go and check it out.
Okay.
Can you see the Turkish keeper or Heaton in the goal tomorrow? Onana needs to hold bench along with Bruno and Rashford. It's gonna be mad. He has paid 50 million to replace De Gea with a pub with a pub goalkeeper. I think that's a bit harsh, but I know the sentiment. Listen, I never wanted him. I don't rate him, so I can't have a go at him. Big up for doing the stream. Get better. Keep up. Love. Yeah, man. Big up to Kataka Ball. Streams. Love the streams, but hate how Eric Ten Hag's moving mad with his teams. The signings have been trashed. Listen, I think the club. The biggest thing about the signings is 50-50. He has got a veto, but the club and the manager negotiate. So the club have 50%. The manager has 50%. So at the end of the day, Manchester United, to be fair, come on, Manchester United have not signed. Manchester United went for a young player. They went for a midfielder who was available, who wanted to go. This transfer window has not been befitting of what Manchester United is. And all those people who are watching the Netflix special of David Beckham, honestly, you are part of the problem as well, because you know what? You've all turned into Manchester United are part of the history. We're just pages in history. That's what we are. Wikipedia page now. Wikipedia pages in history. And the club that you're watching with that David Beckham documentary, that's not the club, what the club is now, people. That club died a long time ago. That club not died, but that club, the Glazers have grabbed that club, kidnapped it, put it in the bin somewhere. So the club that you've got right now, it's not the same club as the one the bankers are in charge of. That club had no bankers in charge of them for a long time, especially the early days. But yeah, sad news obviously today breaking. I'm sorry Bombaye's got condolences to the Ferguson family.
Do you know what happened with that? I was at Hazard's house. Spent it there before. Yeah, big up Haz. Before I went to play tonight. And as it's coming on Sky, I didn't see the first part. And Haz sat up like, whoa. We thought Alex had passed. Because it said Alex Ferguson passed at 81, but it actually said before that, Lady Cathy, wife of Sir Alex Ferguson. But we just saw Sir Alex Ferguson, that part of the You know, it was weird, the feeling that I got in that moment. It's like a family member, or not quite that, but like, whoa. And then, it was it caught me really unaware, that feeling. And then it was Lady Cathy, and do you know, you just start thinking like a day like that is never a good day, man. It's a frantic day.
Yeah.
Alex, so do you know? Guess what I was doing before I came on air? Swear to God,
What were you doing?
episode 3, David Beckham.
Oh God.
I
You
swear
are
down.
honestly, I swear, you're part of the
It's
problem
just
with your nostalgia crap, mate.
I want to go back to the way things were. I don't like this
We need to
future.
invent time machines.
We do. That film, what's that? The Hot Tub Time Machine, man. Nick, get me in one of those. I want to go back to the days. Oh, so I mean, do you guys think? So I tried chatting to the few of the boys, and do you think we have a team that's good enough to get top 4 in terms of personnel? Or I don't think we have any world class players. Maybe Casemiro.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, Casemiro.
Well, I
Casemiro.
know.
Don't talk to me.
Nobody's not getting any autographs anytime soon. Let's be real.
Let's not start with that
Oh
one.
dear.
Listen, the question is, you're talking about top 4. I'm thinking maybe we should stay up because at the moment
Relegation
we're in
dogfight.
relegation form, mate. We're in relegation form at this moment in time.
It's hard to believe we did a treble, you know.
It's crazy.
I look at this team and think I was
It's
watching
this club.
some of
It's the club,
the
man. It's it's the ownership, isn't it? It's an
yeah, of
ownership
course.
thing.
It's
Vision
it's a
from vision from above. Vision from above, man.
look, if we get 3 points tomorrow, by any means necessary, I'm not really bothered about a performance. We just got to break this now. Then after this game, we still got a couple of favourable fixtures, I think. It's who's after this? Who's next after Brentford?
Manchester City.
God damn it. Withdraw that comment. Favourable fixtures.
The favour of
Is it really? Already?
stop
I'm
that serious.
not
It's Man
sure.
City. It's
No
Sheffield
way.
United. Sheffield
Yeah.
United and Man City.
Yeah,
Let
there's
me,
two.
hang on.
And there's
Sheffield
another.
United. It's Brentford,
Oh
Sheffield
yeah,
United, and Copenhagen and Man
and
City.
then we've got Copenhagen in between the
Yeah,
Sheffield United.
so you know, there's hopefully 6 points in there. Pop Copenhagen, then we see what happens.
Then
At least,
you've got Newcastle after in the EFL Cup.
yeah, Newcastle. But there's 3 games there to break this duck, get back on some sort of track, and have something to work with and build on, a platform to build on. At the moment, it's a little bit free fall, and I'm feeling for it, man. We just got to get out of this. And I mean, the mistakes have got to stop. The mistakes
Mate.
have got to stop.
Listen, the mistake, honestly, calamity.
Yeah.
Absolutely calamitous FC, mate. We are giving 3 goals, honestly. 18 goals we've conceded. 18 goals. 18
Gemini.
goals. It's just unbelievable. 100%. Pick up Jason Palmer. Yeah, listen, it's tough out here.
It's tough.
As a Manchester United fan, I'm in pain mentally and physically, trust me. It's like add insult to injury, man. I've got a couple of ribs broken. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore, man.
So let's say, Eric, God forbid we get popped tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Listen, the next question, actually, you're on it. How much is Eric under pressure? He's on severe pressure, isn't he? I mean, I just listened to before I come on. I listened to him waffling because every manager when they're under pressure, they just start waffling. And he basically, they asked him the question. They asked him the question. They say it's too much spotlight on the Manchester United, the players, on you when you lose games. And is it because that last season you won a trophy, you finished it, and people's expectations is like, no, we have to win every game. So all he keeps saying is, we have to win every game. It's unacceptable. We have to win every game. That's why I say it's just waffling. It's just words coming out of his mouth. So the question is, how much is he under pressure? How much?
You want to take that one, Tom, and then I'll go.
Yeah. To be honest with you, from what I saw last season with him in press conferences compared to this season, he doesn't look as composed. He doesn't look as assertive. Last season, let's be honest, the majority of the season he had all the media in his pocket. They didn't criticise him. You didn't hear any of this toxicity in the dressing room, the players, or any of this shite. Even when toward the end of the season we capsized, We barely scraped top 4. We got absolutely bopped about in the FA Cup final. Like, they didn't exactly get the daggers and knives out for him and go for him at that point. But toward the start of this season, like, that persona and that calmness under pressure when he's answering just anything seems to have gone all of a sudden. And yeah, you can say it for what it is. Any manager who comes and is Manchester United manager, you're going to be pressurised even when you're winning games. You're going to be pressurised on every single topic under the sun. And there's probably not a question out there that a journalist can't think about to ask Eric Ten Hag. But for me, based upon what I've seen this season, he's under massive pressure. And you can say it for what it is. We are only in October. It doesn't make a difference. The guys, we played, 10 games. We've lost, I think, 5 or 6 of them now, have we not? Like, that's not a track record for a Manchester United. And as you coined it, Nuruddin, it's relegation for. I've seen teams get relegated on even lesser records than that they've got relegated on. But the way that we're going right now, it's like last season, performance-wise, we weren't the best in some games, but we found a way to win. And I know that was when we abandoned the whole style of play and all that crap and everything. But even this season, I'm just not seeing anything different to what I did last season, apart from we're not getting the results now either. That's the only difference that I can see. And as I've really always coined the point with Ten Hag from last stream when I went off on a massive tangent, was that I think as soon as you come to United, it was almost as if he flip-flopped and he changed every single principle that he knew. This isn't the Eric Ten Hag that was at Ajax. This isn't that free-flowing football and trust all the young kids and, the sort of quote-unquote Man United DNA and Ajax DNA and basically merge the two together. And it was going to be a smooth transition because at Ajax, he had everything done for him. And he just was coach the players. Play your style of play your system, style of football, coach the players. We'll buy you the players for you. You give us a profile, we match it with what we think's best. We come to an agreement, we'll buy the player. If we don't agree, we're not getting that player. It's simple. But at Man United, we don't have this sort of structure. So for me, I think he's under massive pressure. And if it carries on to Christmas, like we discussed on the last stream, I'd struggle to argue why he should keep his job. I would struggle because you've had, like I say, all last season, 2 pre-seasons. He spent £400 million. Really, he's invested in 2, I would say, the most difficult positions in football. He's either been a striker or a goalkeeper. And Højlund, okay, we can say it for what it is. He's a young kid. Onana, I'm not hearing the excuses. The guy's been in big moments. He's experienced enough. He shouldn't be making these sort of silly errors and mistakes. And I know we brought in a goalkeeper like that to play a certain way, but I'm still not seeing this certain way that we're wanting to play, even after bringing in the goalkeeper that was going to help us to change that. So, at the end of the day, we said before, he has to be criticised this season based upon the results, but also the performances of the team, because he has had that element of time. So, for me, I'm just looking at it from the perspective, there's no performances, and we're not getting the results. So, if it continues, then I'd struggle to fight his corner for any longer. But I do still believe that he is the right man while we are still on the topic right now, because I know what I saw and I know what I signed up for when I saw him playing that brilliant football for Ajax. And I can only hope that can transfer to Manchester United. Oh, well, hopefully as soon as, really.
I think...
but go on, Bubba.
I think Tom there said something that's very pertinent, which is, I hope it can transfer to Manchester United. Now, a few people have suggested that because Ajax players are reared in a certain way, and it's all young players without any big paid stars, it's a very different type of job to this Manchester United one. We don't play the type of football that Ajax play. We're quite a turbulent outfit, and we do have a lot of, there is some inexperience there. There's a lot of high profile. There's a lot of wages. So this was always a question mark. Can you transfer Ajax to Manchester United because of that? I'm not sure. I think he's under immense
league, totally different league.
100% as well. You're right.
Yeah.
Different kind of football club. there, everything structures around him.
That's
Everything's
what I mean.
helped.
That's what I said.
Everything is
Everything's
built
done for
around
you.
him, 100%. Tom.
Everything's done for you. You just be the coach. That's it.
Listen, big up White UKB TV General.
Yeah.
Didn't realize even as a Gunner fan, utmost respect to Asa Alex, R.I.P. Cathy Ferguson. Big up.
Yeah, big up, man. You know, death is death, end of the day. So I think that's one point. I think he's under a lot of pressure. I know, my opinion is there are certain expectations that, you know, you won't be able to drop below at Man U. And if you're not giving us, as Tom says, if we're getting results, it buys you the time to install the football because we're getting results. Okay. If we're playing well and walking away thinking we didn't get what we deserved and we played well, then that buys you the time because you feel you're going places to then start to get the results. But when you're not getting any results and you're not really getting any performances, you ask yourself, what are you giving me as a manager? Because those are the two facets of a manager. And for you especially, the remit was the style of football. We could have got a coach that is more accomplished. There's many more accomplished, but we went for you because of the style of football that you play. We like that. We want that, and we're not getting it at the moment. So it's very difficult to make a case against my counterparts. Whoever feels that, you know, I want to cut my losses, he's not the man for the job. I can't make a case to tell you you're wrong. The only thing I'm hanging on for is I don't know, to be honest, if he is the right guy for the job. I don't know. Because to me, by and large, he's an unknown quantity. And there is a gulf in experience, and it's a hell of a jump up from Ajax to this job. And especially, like you say, this is a difficult job, man. You do it sometimes with one hand tied behind your back. And I don't know if anyone watched the Zlatan interview. He said, he gave me some food for thought. But what he said clearly identified, he said there's a gap between the manager and the process that leads up to the higher ups. There's a void there. There's a vacuum there, and that is a big thing that you need to fill. And that goes back to the original structure, running of the club, a well-oiled machine. You know, good interdepartmental communication, defined roles, and these kind of things. And it seems that we don't have that. I think if Eric Ten Hag, you know, if we lose these next couple of games, don't quite go our way, Brentford, Sheffield United, you got Copenhagen. If it's not very good, and then City give you a real hiding, I don't know, man. It might not. Maybe even drag out to Christmas, and then the pressure will turn into, you know, quite nasty reproach.
Yeah.
I don't think we're there yet, and then it just becomes kind of right. How much can the club take before they pull a trigger, or do the club know something that we don't know? I think if I'm an owner, I remember with Ferguson, a lot of people were saying this is a dud. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know, when he took over us, I mean, I think but what I watched the documentary, what David Gill knew was that we understood the revamp he was doing and the work that he was putting in to prime us to become a good team. And this is why we kind of sticking with him. If I've got it wrong, if we've got it wrong, and the club knows something that we don't, and they think, listen, we're going to have to drag the fans kicking and screaming through it because we think that Eric, and we see what Eric's doing, then I just hope that they can make a decision on that basis. I would rather have an owner that really believed in a manager because you can see what maybe we're not seeing, the work inside, everything that's happening, and stick to that and say, look, this is going to work. It is going to be painful, but it is going to work. Rather than an owner that shits his pants because we're screaming and we're going berserko. We have the right. We have the right to, but I think that's good ownership. That's really good management. to know that, and don't always try and just appease the fans. Don't always just give the fans what they want. If you actually know and believe in the recruitment that you've made, because all you're going to do there is reset a process. We might go and get another manager. We're back on the carousel. Yeah, I need my players now. And then we'll be here Saturday saying, this isn't his players, though. These players have been here for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'd say if the Glazers were to listen to me. Do the right thing in the interest of the club and have a bit of a long-term thought processes. But from where I'm sat, from what I can see, it is very disappointing.
But the way that these owners work, Bombay, I'm sorry to cut you short, is that unless it's mathematically impossible for him not to get into the Champions League, they can't win the Champions League, or he can't qualify through the Premier League. Until that point hits, there's not going to be like an even thought process about getting rid of him, because they did the same thing with Louis van Gaal, and it's funnily enough, it's another Dutch manager who a lot of people could see the football that he wanted to play, but he just didn't have the time to implement it. And you can say it for what it is. LVG didn't get all of the players that he wanted at that time. He got 56 choices for players. The thing with Ten Hag that we can say is that unless this club can realistically see no other avenue, they're not going to get rid of him. And I think for a lot of us fans, we're looking at it and thinking, if Erik Ten Hag went tomorrow, I don't think anybody here could clearly give one name that I think we could all agree upon. We'd be debating about different managers, Hansi Flick or, Ancelotti or whoever. We'd be debating around managers. Whereas the one thing that I think a lot of us fans did agree on was that we all knew what we were signing up for when we wanted this manager over as Nuruddin called him, Oli Chino. Sure. We all knew what we were signing up for when we got Ten Hag, but we knew that the baggage was going to come with it. And the way that we are run in terms of the spreadsheets and the financing, unless he can't get into that top four, he could win the FA Cup at the end of the season, and they would still sack him. We knew with Louis van Gaal. If you don't get into the Champions League, you won't stay in Manchester United manager. And really, it's funny that when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made all those top four runs, he was always given that bit more time. And people always associate that with, well, he's a club legend and they had a good relationship with him. That's got nothing to do with it. These people, they don't care. If you don't get the top four and the Champions League football, they get rid of you. And then when they bring in a new manager for the first year, like they did with Ten Hag, they invest big money in all of the players that he wants. And then as soon as he makes the Champions League, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if you get your number one player, your fifth, your sixth. If you don't get any player, they don't care. Because you've given them what they want, and that's their expectation, which is top four.
Yo, big up, Tom. Big up, Bombay. I need to eat. Everybody, big up Bombay. Big up everybody in the chat. There's nearly 200 of you in here. Smash a damn like on the video. I'm in a lot of pain. I've got to eat some food because I've got to take some strong painkillers. And you can't take them on an empty stomach, so I'm eating on the stream. I don't care because I shouldn't really be here. But big up Bombay, big up Tom. We're joined by a man like himself, Rick Astley.
Big up.
Never gonna give.
Give you up.
Gonna let you down.
Never get so.
Please, that's John Mertos tonight.
Please, guys, stop making me laugh.
Do you know what? Erik Ten Hag, if he's still here by the end of the year at the Players' Lounge thing, that's his tune. He's got to sing that to the players, to all of us.
Please stop.
Do you know what's going to happen? The Glazers are going to sing that to you, Dino. All six of them, the kids.
They do a cameo video for Nuruddin.
Listen, it's nearly 200 of you in here, and there's only 69 likes. We're gonna get into it a little bit. Big up Jarvis. Jarvis, a broken couple of ribs just right up here underneath my breast. Underneath my breast here, right there. Honestly, I'm in severe pain. I have to eat some food to take hardcore painkillers. Big up, but 69 likes. 69 likes is an absolute disgrace. Absolute
69,
disgrace.
dude.
69. Hey, there's no 69 for any of us. Get that into your head, people.
Mm.
Our team could be going down. I'll take 69 points right now. I'll bite it. I'll bite it off your hand. But anyway, it is what it is. To me, talk a little bit about how Brentford play. Brentford actually play long ball at times. They play very in terms of the tactically. Thomas Frank is a brilliant manager. He knows the type of efficiency that he gets out of his team. He's probably one of the best set piece coaches I've ever seen. It's something that you see in the film. Some of the stuff they do is crazy. How they run around. They all run to the back post and they all sprint to the front post. The stuff that they do with set pieces is crazy.
Years
if you press them really hard, they'll absolutely launch the ball, and they've got willing runners that can run behind you. They've got willing runners who can run behind you and who can put the ball at the back of the net. Everybody thought Tony, they're going to struggle without Tony. Man, but this boy, the boy that they've got right at this moment in time, the Cameroonian brother, oh my word, he's putting in absolute goals. He's been putting up performances. He's took all of that pressure that Tony's not here. He took it and said, right, give it to me. I'll carry the club. So I'm expecting a tough game. I wish we didn't have to play. I could pick many other teams to play tomorrow, but we're playing them. I think we can get at them, though. I think there's ways to get at them. I think you can overload them in midfield. I think you can play through the wide spaces. But one of the worst things about them, one of the best things for them, worst thing for us, they like to go wide and cross the ball. And what have we struggled with this season? How many goals have we conceded from balls being crossed from right or left? Yeah. It's absolute joke. So tomorrow, I want to see, and I know you thinking, guys, what the hell is he? He's lost the plot. He's broken a couple of ribs, and now he can't even make sense. But I want to see Johnny Evans tomorrow, because when in either boxes, Johnny Evans is the only guy who can get his head on the ball. They're really good at set pieces, and the only other guy is Casemiro. Rest of our players, they might as well not do anything in terms of set pieces. They're not active. And every time we defend a set piece, a corner or a free kick, we look panicky. We're so panicky. We leave people on the back post. So tomorrow, this is a team we cannot afford to do that. They do play interesting football, very unorthodox. That's the word, very unorthodox. But there's a lot of pressure on this game tomorrow. And to get yours from Jarvis, it's one, Eric Ten Hag's under a lot of pressure. Is this the must-win game? And are you scared of Brentford?
Yeah, I'm really scared of Brentford. I like Thomas Frank and what he has done. He's a very astute manager. He's tactical, smart. He's very good at signing players. They have the Moneyball principle, where they use like algorithms and computers to find players with who are hidden gems.
Analytics data,
data, and they have been doing this for a couple of years. They have a lot of Danish players. I'm really fond about the central midfielder in the 4-3-3, Nørgaard. I think he's really good. He's good on the ball, and he's good tactically. He's smart in his movement. I think he's very underrated. One of the best DMs in the Premier League, in my mind. He used to play an attacking midfielder when he played in Denmark, but suddenly when he came to Brentford, Thomas Frank found out that he could play as a DM. So it's very strange how his career has evolved, but he's been very good. So I fear him, and I think we will struggle to win the midfield battle. I think he can neutralize Bruno if Bruno plays in the 10. They have a lot of good strikers, Wissa and Mbuemo. They are both have an eye for a goal. So our defense need to be 100%. But they are not at the moment. So I think it will be a tough game. I don't know if you're doing predictions yet, but my head says it's going to be a draw, 1-1.
Right, your heart. Big up Stephanie Griffin. Big up everybody in the chat.
Yeah, my heart says it says 1-0 victory. We're not going to score many goals. They recently played, I think it was Arsenal, and they lost 1-0. And they played, I think it was Liverpool, and lost 1-0. And they draw against Spurs. So So they're not an easy match. But I don't think we will score many goals. But and all of the games they have played, except the Everton game that they lost 3-1, they have produced the most chances. Even in the games they lost against the Arsenal and Liverpool, they have produced the most chances and shots on goals. So they're dangerous. They're very effective. They don't use a lot of time building up an attack. They play direct. So we need to be need to be concentrated, because they will hurt us if we are mucking around.
I could be wrong here. I swear we've played 2 behind closed doors matches. One against Burnley, and I could be wrong. Was the other one Brentford? And I think we lost both 3-0. Did we not? I could be wrong. I know we played Burnley behind closed doors, and we played one more team. I think
I don't know who the other team was.
I can't remember.
It might have been Everton.
Maybe Everton, Brentford. It was one of those sort of teams anyway. But
Tom,
at the end of the day, consistency, we need that for the whole level game. That's what I'm saying.
Tom, what does your heart say? Get the scores in, people. Get your scores in. What does your heart say? What does your head say?
It's difficult. My head says I think we could lose by just a scrappy 1-0. But if I'm going with my heart, I want to say that there's going to be some sort of reaction out of the players, and we're going to come out firing and maybe 3-0 or something. But I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet with the way that we've been playing defensively. So I don't know, 3-1 maybe or something like that. But that's probably what I'd go for. But like I say, the way like Jarvis broke it down really with the set pieces and the overall directness as well. Linda's soft, mate. I'm telling you now, any of those forwards, they're going to back. They're going to back. They're going to back. They're going to back. And I swear to God, if I see players like Delo or Linda holding the player's fucking hand when they walk back towards the goal, like, it's ridiculous. I don't care if you foul them, drag them down, take a yellow card. I don't care.
He's a
I'm
jogger.
fed up of being
He's
bullied.
not a footballer, mate. He's a jogger. He just likes to jog.
Well,
slow-paced jogger.
At the end of the day, we need to see physicality. Stick the boot in the back of the players. Put some fear of God into them. Jesus Christ, you're playing competitive football. It's like they're on FIFA, the way that some of them play. And it's as if, oh, you can lose a game and it doesn't matter. You can always go into next week. No, this is professional football. At the end of the day, Brentford would stick it on any of our players. I'm telling you now, if you have any of our little kids, any of them, Garnacho does a player in the half turn, they're dragging him down. Forget the yellow card. They don't care. They'll drag him down because they know a player like Garnacho or a Hoyland or somebody running behind against them, like they've got more chance of scoring. And especially when they didn't really get an opportunity to properly replace their goalkeeper that they've consistently been with in David Raya. They didn't have that time frame to replace him with probably the goalkeeper that they would wanted the most. But at the end of the day, we know what we need from this game. We need the performance to match the result. And for me, my heart says I want us to win 3-0. But I think we will concede that one goal because defensively, like you said, we're shambles. And surprisingly, I'm actually going to agree with you. I would like to see Johnny Evans play tomorrow. Because even though he's 35, he'll boot the hell out of any of them forwards if they turn on him. He won't care. He'll stick the boot in. I want players who are not going to be afraid of actually having a bit of a tussle or a bit of a battle. I don't care.
We got passive FC. Diego Dalot's passive. Lindelof is passive. Amrabat's not a left back. Let's get it right. I'm not even going to do a lineup because we know what's coming. We do all the lineups that we want. He plays the same players. So the lineups are banned here on this channel. Big up Wahab. Habibi, I hope you're well. Sending you lots of love. Big up to my brother Wahab there. Listen, big up to everybody. 1x8, your heart, what's your head saying? Is your head saying we're going to get busted? Your heart, what's your heart saying?
My head's saying maybe go out, take a walk, don't watch the game.
I'm definitely not going to be there tomorrow. I'm injured.
Then come back for the... I can't lose either way. Either we win or I have a great time watching people lose their shit. It's a win-win for me. Do you know what I mean? Listen, no, I think tomorrow will be a telling game. I don't know. You guys correct me. Brentford are a team that live and die by the shift that they put in. that's their, that's their thing, man. They put in a lot of yards. They work hard for each other. It's not a team built on, world-class players or anything like that. They're an honest, really hard-working side that,
Facts.
want to win for their manager. They go out there and they believe in him. And tomorrow, we're going to see if Manchester United are willing to fight for Eric Ten Hag because of the team that we're playing and the type of game we might get. Because you're going to have to fight for it. They're not doing well, but we're also like, we're wounded right now. We're there for the taking. So tomorrow's game is massive. One team has to turn a corner. They're underachieving and underperforming by their standards, based on what you told me their season looks like so far. And so are we. So there's a lot at stake tomorrow, and I think we'll be able to take a lot from that game, depending on how we play and the result. So I'm going to go for a United victory. I'm just going to go for United victory. Yes, exactly. Surprise. And I'm going to go for. I'm going for 3-1 to United.
Is that why your heart's telling you?
It's what my ass is telling me. I just 3-1 just came into my mind. It didn't say it was United or Brentford, but I just put United next to the 3. So we go with that. We go with 3-1.
Listen, nobody in YouTube interacts with the chat. I don't just interact with super chats. Every one of your comments gets on here. So the least you could do, we've got 200 people watching, is at least get 100 likes on this video. Absolute disgrace, a lot of you. Just this afternoon, big up, we're moving on. That's what it is. My heart says Manchester United win 1-0. And then my head says we get busted. We get busted. We get busted 2-3-0.
No, and what's your ass telling you?
My ass has got nothing to do with it. My ribs are broken.
His ass is going to fall out after at full time, Tom.
I'm not even watching, honestly.
Do you know, I tell you, the one beautiful thing that I'm really loving is Rasmus Højlund, man. It's been worth the wait. Honestly, I'm so pleased. The 20-year-old, the way that he's playing is not to be underestimated. This guy.
Well, we didn't hype him up, Mumbai. We didn't hype him up. We did a proper research on him. We did a video on here. We did a proper in-depth research on him. And we said his improvements in a short space of time have been incredible. So big up to him. Yeah. I mean, I felt so sorry for him and Mason Mount. And the other night, honestly.
They didn't deserve to be on the losing team. Nope. The really nice comment from Mr. Palmer there. Thank you for that. Do you know, when I'm not talking, I'm reading all the comments, some really good stuff in there.
What's Mr. Palmer said about you?
Well, he just said, there you go. There it is. Great panel tonight again. Love the community input. Glazers out, full stop.
Yeah.
There you go. Big up.
There you go.
Jason Palmer, lots of love and light. Jason Palmer was talking about he was in the bath before.
Bless you, Jason.
Enjoy. I hope you're enjoying that bath. I just want to say quickly, we'll come into this. Go on, Jarvis. Go ahead.
Yeah. I know you don't like lineups at the moment, and we know what Ten Hag will come with. But I have made a starting 11 for myself. I made a slide. I just want to test it on you guys because you know football. I just want to hear your thoughts about it. Could this be a potential for Ten Hag? Because what I have done here, I put Dalot on left back and Lindelof on right back, basically just to defend. So and I put Maguire in the center defender, and I put Casemiro out of the team. I want more legs, so I have Amrabat and Hannibal at the 2 defenders, and Eriksen in the 10. And I switch around Anthony and Garnacho, so we have a left footer on the left side and a right footer on the right side. Because my theory is I want to build the team around Højlund to make him perform. So what do you think about this? Could this be a potential winning formula?
Ten Hag would have to be drunk to pick that team, if I'm honest.
I'm going to...
I like the team, if I'm honest with you, Jarvis.
What we need to do, Jarvis, we need to sneak into the hotel tonight, grab a couple of things and hit them over the head, and then replace you. Do remember the film Face Off? we need to basically take Ten Hag's face and plant it on your head. So you go out there tomorrow, you put this team out.
Tell you what,
That's what we
this
need.
team is.
I like this team, Jarvis. It's a brilliant team.
It's
I
a
would
brave.
do this.
It's
not
brave.
I love Ericsson as a number 10. I absolutely love, because that's his position.
I do. I think that's wonderful. What you do there is you will really allow him to be Christian Eriksen by putting him there.
It'll be amazing there. It'll be
But
amazing.
what?
No defensive responsibility. Get him up that pitch.
Some very big calls in that team. Very big calls, which at this point are not as big as you might think they are because of the way we're playing. However, the one not criticism, just feedback, and then you come back at me, Jarvis, is none of the midfielders there are gonna. I can't imagine them getting into the box in a crowded box with big lads. We're just going to be trying to look for Højlund because Anthony's not going to be able to cut inside and do anything, and neither is Garnacho. You're looking for them to maybe feed balls. So I think maybe Højlund could be a little bit isolated. Whereas if you put them with the ability to cut inside as well, then it's a bit more two-dimensional. That's the only thing I'm saying, because you know that they're all right. You know, if they low block it, Højlund's in a crowded box. I don't know. What do you think?
Listen, big up. Honestly, I really like the team. I love the fact that you've got. The only thing is that I'd rather have Evans than Maguire. That's the only thing. Because of the set pieces tomorrow, Evans can get his head on the ball, and I don't trust Maguire.
He's good with both feet as well, to be fair to him.
Yeah,
I think he's good. I think he's good in possession with both feet.
And he can pass the ball. He can find Anthony and he can find Garnacho. He's a better passer than Maguire.
Good point.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the switcheroo on the wings with the right?
Yeah, you know what? I think he's young. I think he has to try to be. He can't just be like, oh, I'm left-sided, right foot and inverted forward. He has to learn to play both.
You have to learn to play. You have to be an attacker really as a winger. You need to play anywhere really across the front line if you want to be, up for selection for any game. If we're being honest with you. Because most of the players in top squads nowadays,
Tom,
you're looking at
City
or Liverpool.
1 second, Saturday just said, did anybody see the photo of Avram Glazer taking his dog for a walk in a pram?
Dear.
This man is a nugget show of a Happy Meal. Why do you do this to me?
Do you want to go large for an extra 50p? Oh dear.
I'm in too much pain. No, Jarvis, bring the team back.
So 1 second, Jarvis. So why have you switched them around? I mean, do you understand what my concern is with switching the wingers, and what's your thinking?
He basically means that bring the ball, cross the ball, right-footed, go on the outside. Get the ball in.
Go to the byline and cross the ball in. That's my thought. But the problem is we have no width if you play with inverted forwards, like inside forwards, because Dalot, he can't keep the width on the left side, and Lindelof can't keep the width on the right side. So we have to depend on the wingers to do the crossing. That's my thinking on this, because of the fullback problem at the moment. So this will probably be a solution for the fullback problem.
Tab, okay, if they're going on the outside, the idea is to get a crossing. What do you think about my image of, a few Brentford lads? I can't see Ericsson or Mejbri or Amrabat scoring headers, or I don't know, being there to pick up pieces. I feel maybe Højlund might be a little bit alone now. Casemiro, okay, you have somebody that can get you a header. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Casemiro is a shout. I set up a second team. Casemiro was in it and not Hannibal, but I was thinking about the tenacity, the legs, the work rate. Casemiro would work too. It's not set in stone. My prediction, and even Ericsson against Mount could be a option.
I think that Casemiro would fit if what you did is then you drop him into a back three with Maguire, Varane, and Casemiro, like we did against Palace in the cup tie, and then you have both fullbacks in Lindelof or Dalot that can invert. You basically give the fullbacks the the width or the tenacity to go in and overload the midfield and play with an extra player in there, and you have 4 dynamic players. The only problem that I have with that is I don't think Delo or Lindelof are that brilliant with the ball at their feet. That's the only thing. I think they can pick a simple pass. We know with Lindelof, like sideways 5-yard passes, but trying to make a nail biting pass or a direct ball over to one of the widths, I think it'd either make the players or break them, if I'm honest. And the only thing that I would say with the Anthony and the Garnacho thing, I like it with the width because I know with Garnacho, I've seen him take the ball to the byline before. Anthony, I don't think I've ever hardly seen him ever do it. Maybe once or twice when he came on against Barcelona, second leg last season at Old Trafford. That was the only time that I really saw him actually take the ball to the byline. But this time, there's no excuse for him not to be able to put the ball in the box. Because we can't now sit here, lads, and say there's the excuse of, oh, he hasn't got a right foot. Because he'd stick it in with his left. That's the only thing. But you can always interchange the lads anyway. You can move them to either side of the wing if they're not having a good hunting ground and then just switch it. But even if we go into this team with the team that we've set up here, the bench as well, we've got the options then. That's the one thing that I think it gives us as well. So if it isn't going well or we can't break the team down, well, you can bring on Marcus Rashford, one of the lads up front. You can bring on Anthony Martial. You can bring on, Fernandes in the midfield. If you need some, like Bumbaye was saying, you want some lads who are going to be box to box and direct into the box and headers and physical. Bring on Scott McTominay. Bring on physical lads then, and players that can do it. But we already know that the quality from these players has dropped off from last season. That's the only issue that I've got maybe with the players that we're dropping on the bench.
I think it's good that you set a team up. There's a few guys that you've taken out of the firing line, which is good. I mean, I remember Wendy's comment last week, since she's up here, and I'm in a minority. I'm a big Rashford man. I think he's a really good player. Form has died a little bit, but I believe that Højlund. I don't know if anybody saw
Rashford. Listen, Rashford is in Earth. The form is in the next galaxy.
Another
That's how far they
stratosphere.
are. That's how
But
far they are.
I watched an interview. I'm somebody that, I like to pick up nuances. I watched the Rasmus Højlund interview after I think the Galatasaray game, and he said, now that Marcus knows that I can keep up with his runs, hopefully he'll find me. It was an indirect message to say, start looking for me. I've been brought in and I can do the business. I'm making the runs. Now, to be fair to Marcus, he finds him on the right and he should find Bruno, but he doesn't. So that's all right. But I think it's good to take Marcus out the firing line for a little bit. Give Bruno a chill. Take him out of the firing line, out of the limelight, relax. And if we can get a win without them, it's really, really good for us. Because ultimately, look, they are big players. They do see lion's share of the ball. It's not always great, but it's not always bad, to be fair. They've been wonderful last year. And Marcus is somebody that can make something out of nothing. I think he will come good again. It's temporary. But take him out the firing line. You don't have to play him every single week. And what excites me most about your team is the prospect of Eriksen playing exactly where God created him to play, without having to have the fear of, I don't want to ask him to run around and chase. It's not his game. Let him do his thing. Cut it back to him. One thing, hopefully, here, the way you've set up the wingers, you don't have to cross it all the time to find Højlund. No. What you'd be expecting there is make those late runs into the box, try and cut it back, have a dig. So it is an interesting side, and at this point, honestly, I don't really have any issues with whatever team people are thinking about putting out. I really don't at this point. I really, really don't. So yeah, it's a good shout. It's a brave shout. You've took some big calls there, and I think some of that team is. I really like it.
It's something different as well, lads. I think that's one thing that we could say, that we haven't really seen that variant that we've had in the last couple of weeks, where there's not been as I always say, like the surprise selections. Like there's a couple of players that you wouldn't
100%.
expect that you wouldn't expect to play where you would. We all know Fernandes was going to play on the right wing in the Galatasaray game. We all knew that was going to happen. We all knew that as soon as it come down to it, when he was going to be nullified on that right wing, that he was going to have to switch with one player, and then they ended up sacrificing Mason Mount in the game, which was absolutely ludicrous, just so that you could bring him back into the fold, so he could do what? Ghost the rest of the game. And
It's
at
crazy,
the end of the
people,
day,
honestly.
with Ten Hag, the only problem that we can say that with what we've done here, we all agree that we like the team, but he's too stubborn. And if he chose that team and it got battered 3 or 4-0, everybody, let's be honest, half of social media would be hanging for his head on a stick. And if it doesn't work out for him, what can he really fall back on? He's dropped over superstars and it's still not worked. So he's in a lose-lose situation. He's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. So at the end of the day, if he looks at it from the perspective of, well, I've got nothing to lose, I'm already under pressure, why not make a big call or a big decision and drop some of the lads?
Listen, it's going to be very interesting.
They need to be fired up. They need to be motivated. That's the one thing I'm saying. They need to be motivated as players.
Listen, the burnt out statement came out today, and basically Eric Ten Hag, big up the Therapy Army, because the Therapy Army community was onto this very early onwards. We were saying that since February, we've not played at all. And somebody pointed that out to him today, and he had basically admitted what the truth is. That's one thing I like about Ten Hag, even though he's waffling a lot now. And when managers are under extreme pressure, they waffle a lot. That's just the nature of the job, being in a hot seat, getting so many questions fire at you. Because the sporting director doesn't come out on top. The banker doesn't come out on top. The Glazers never say anything. So it's all on the manager. So at least we respect his honesty. They went away. He said he can give reasons, and he doesn't. Every time he said he's teasing the hell out of us. He's like, I know the reasons, but I can't tell you. I'm like, what the hell? And then Gary Neville has come out a couple of times this week and said he could, it's not Ten Hag's fault. He feels for Ten Hag. And I'm like, come on, people, tell us what the hell is going on. But first of all, we'd like to congratulate Garnacho on the baby born. So he might not be starting tomorrow if he's been busy with the baby or with the birth of his first child. So congratulations to Garnacho and his partner. He's got a Mancunian baby now. It is what it is. It will never take that away from him. That baby, he was born in Manchester. So let's hope he turns out to be a baller as well, just like his dad. Listen, 2 questions to ask you before I end this. I'm in a lot of pain, so I don't want to really go on too long as a show. The one question is that big up to 1958. They came out tonight, this afternoon. They came out this afternoon, today, this morning, whenever time it was, and they basically did a Twitter thread. Those of you who are not on Twitter, I've posted it on my Twitter, so if you want to check it out, they've done a Twitter thread where they basically asked all Manchester United fan groups to disengage from the club, to basically cease with any communication with the Glazers, the club representatives. And I think it's a brilliant idea. It's a brave one. I don't know if people will do it, but I think it's the only way you can do it, honestly, that every Manchester United fan group disassociates themselves from the
Does
Glazers.
that mean you unsubscribe from them online?
No, it means that you do not stay in contact with them about anything. So you totally disengaged in terms of, because fans representative groups have meetings with the club. So you tell the club, listen, no problem with you. Listen, no problem with you guys who are working at the club that we've built relationships with over the years, but we're not going to engage until the Glazers are gone. And that's what they asked for today. Let me just make this point finish. So that's what they asked for. I think it's very good. I wish that all our fan groups can. I'm afraid there's a lot of egos involved in this. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. And the big up Jason Palmer, he made a comment before about Keno saying, the prawn sandwich brigade took over. And I think a lot of the fan groups that interact with the club and the Glazers, a lot of them are the prawn cocktail sandwich brigade. And I can't see that happening. So, but I wish to do that. I'm glad that they're thinking about interesting ways. to try to get the fans together, and big up to them, love and light. The other big thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that the club blamed the fans. The club blamed the fans and is still breathing against the fans, saying the fans that sold their tickets to the Galatasaray fans, which is just ludicrous and surreal. So what a reason more to disengage from them. There's all sorts of stories being shared. I shared a story of a Galatasaray fans throwing a coin and hit an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And she's got a cut above her eye or something. We wish her well and we wish her speedy recovery. But they came and tore our banner down. They literally came and abused us. And then you've got the British media briefing and propping Jim the Rat Radcliffe. Jarvis, I'll go to you first. Jim the Rat Radcliffe apparently wants 25% and wants to go into bed with the Glazers. I told everybody, and this channel and this community told from day one, that when he couldn't come out and say he could buy the whole club, he could afford to buy the whole club, that we said he's a snake, and that we said we'll not accept 0.5%, 0.25% of Glazer staying in with him. So where do you stand in this? And apparently then there's a briefing from the Qatar side saying that they're not willing to budge and that they can clearly see that he's been used. Do you think he's been used by the Glazers to try to get more money out of the Qatar bid or the
Foundation? Yeah, at the moment it feels like it. I have been watching a lot of Mick and hear him talk about this. He has a lot of knowledge and he has brought on people who knows. Tom, for example, he has a lot of knowledge. But, I think the Glazers want to sell because they said they want to sell. I don't know, what will 25% give them? 1.75 billion? Was it something like that to share?
That's the quoting figures, and if it's at 1.5 for 25%, that values the club out at 6 billion that they would want eventually.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is what does it give Jim Ratcliffe? 25%.
Well,
why is he doing it?
He'd want some sort of a put and call agreement where he can call for the clause that would be inserted in a deal where he can buy more shares. But like Nuruddin said, when he didn't come out and say that I've got the money to buy the whole football club, it's almost as if he wants to buy 25% now and then just buy shares year after year after year until he finally reaches a threshold where he can take over from them, or he can leave a couple of them with whatever percent that they want and then say, right, lads, you can have that, but I'm going to take control of the reins. Or you're going to have the situation where he just buys up to a certain point and then the Glazer family will say, well, we're happy to go completely now. But because Sir Jim's already in the door, they'd give him first refusal as their main stakeholder. Yeah. That's if he would want to buy them or buy all the shares that is anyway. Well, go on, Jarvis.
Yeah, now my problem with this is basically then he will just be a seventh Glazer and he will just sit there with no power. Yeah, we will have no say in it. He will just sit there with 25% and the Glazer will still decide what to do with the club. So it's a very scary thought, and basically he will be financing them for at least 5 more years, 10 more years, who knows. So it's like the nightmare never ends if Ratcliffe comes in. So I hope and pray every day that the Qataris get their bid accepted and we will have new owners and the Glazers will be out.
This is see, look, Manchester United, my mistake when I said, why doesn't everybody unsubscribe from Manchester United's social media platforms completely? It's easy enough to reinstate yourself, but just for the moment, can't you just unsubscribe completely from all Manchester United YouTube channels, Twitter stuff? Why don't everybody do that? It's just a click of a button, right?
I do. I don't follow them.
Yeah, well, everyone should take a leaf out of your book. I mean, it's a simple thing, and it's a very effective way of protest, because isn't social media a really big thing for us? That's what we try to push. That's what we try to do. Just unsubscribe. You know, extend the therapy army worldwide. Extend the protests worldwide. All you're doing is unsubscribing. Even if you did it for a month, you can just resubscribe. But what you do there is you show that you can isolate the club actually, rather than the opposite way around. We can isolate you. Like Bobby Charlton said, without fans, football is nothing. And fans are very important online. The presence is massive. So I think that's the thing. And I feel that Jim Ratcliffe's proposal is on the basis of the leverage of time to perhaps acquire Manchester United gradually, which is like, we don't want to play for a player up front. We'll pay it off in installments. This way I don't have a massive initial outlay. I am a substantial stakeholder, and I only need another 24% to be a majority shareholder. So I think if the Glazers are going to get their extra billion, that Sheikh Jassim, perhaps, I think he ended at 5, was it? 5 billion?
It was over 5 is what's being reported, but obviously we don't know the official numbers because of NDA. But
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the difference of, I don't know, is it 500 million difference? It's still a lot of money. So maybe they're happy to continue to reap dividends from the club. It's not like they're not making money. Sir Jim comes in, gives it a cash injection. The share price recovers a little bit. They don't lose much. Yeah, we'll give you time because we're not in a hurry. But eventually what they could do is say, well, we had a cash deal, Jim, for not quite what you're valuing, but you have to pay us more in your valuation because you're asking for time. But we're going to insert a clause. You have to become a majority stakeholder and buy us outright within 3 years or 5 years. That would be pretty good for them. They get what they want. On top of that, they are still making windfall gains because, the club turns over, you make money. And eventually we have a guaranteed sale for the price that we want. It doesn't matter to them, I think, who they sell it to. Although obviously we understand the difference in ownership between Sheikh Jassim and Jim Ratcliffe. This is what I think it could be. And as Jason Palmer says, sometimes somebody rings you, hi, I want to buy this bookshelf. You've got it advertised on Facebook. Yeah, when can you come? I've got 4 people interested, but there's nobody interested. So it could be bullshit. It could be PR. But I think that would be attractive to me if I was a Glazer. Sir Jim's, sorry, not Sir Jim, Jim's offer. I get what I want. On top of that, I make profits, and you can have some extra time. That's fine.
Yeah, big up to everybody, man. Listen, we got your takes. To me, I said that this saga will go on. It's a circus. It's another update. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We just wait and we hope and pray that we get the right decision. Mach as well sent Ten Hag packing before the inevitable bring Kino with another United legend. At least they will be throwing in the training.
There'll be nobody left.
Wow. Throwing the baby with the bathwater and more. Listen, big up to everybody. Love and light. That's our preview. That is we've ticked all the topics. We talked about Ten Hag being under pressure. We talked about the game being a must-win. We talked about the 1958 thread. Go and check it out. I've posted it on That Guy with the Devil. And you can find it on Twitter if you're on Twitter. We also talk about the circus that is the takeover. It is a circus. It's been going on for far too long, in my opinion. I need to get these painkillers, and I need to get an early bed. I won't be at Old Trafford tomorrow, but hopefully...
You'll be there in spirit, Odin. You'll be there in spirit.
If I'm not in too much pain, I will be... I'll be doing a...
Someone sent me this picture. Newspaper.
I swear, I thought that was Jarvis Noble for just a second.
Has this been Photoshop?
It's Rick Astley.
That's your... Is he actually?
That's
Jarvis, a broken ribs and
that's
you posting that. Jarvis, you can't do this.
So that wasn't even Jarvis's team selection. That was Rick's.
Yeah.
Look at the jawline.
Big up Rick Astley.
Spitting image.
Big
Wow.
up Rick Astley. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Big up Rick Astley. Have you ever been to his concert, Jarvis, when he came to Oakland?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately.
We might have to do that next time he's playing somewhere. You have to go.
Wow.
You can't do
I will
this.
get the
Wow.
VIP pass.
Oh dear.
You can't do this to me, Rick. You can't do this to me. You can't. Rick Astley, you cannot do this to me. Big up. Listen. Big up to Jarvis, Bowley77 at Bowley77, BOLE. Make sure you follow Tom at TomJournalist1 on Twitter. Bumbaye doesn't do socials. He only does United Real Therapy. Me, you can find me on That Guy Red Devil. Yeah, this has been your preview for Brentford. And again, we send all our love and condolences to the Ferguson family, especially to Sir Alex Ferguson in this difficult time. We'd like to thank Cathy for all her devotion and the fact that she changed Ferguson's mind from retiring. And
Behind,
yeah, you know what I mean, another decade of success at Manchester United. So big up to her and thank you to her for all her service, because you know she had everything at home sorted for him so he can focus on the football club. I said that and somebody came at me at Twitter and said, "Is that all you remember her for?"
no,
I'm like,
listen.
well, I
Behind
didn't know her,
every,
but I knew that she did all this amazing work behind the scenes, so Ferguson can do his job and you know what I mean, do what he did for Manchester United.
man,
So it is what it is.
behind every great man, there's a great woman. You know.
Behind every great person, there's other people behind them. 100%. It's not just one person. But love and light. There you go. Even from the City fan, Super City says love to Sir Alex Ferguson at this time.
Yeah,
Big up.
respect, man. Big up.
Other rivalries aside, Ferguson family legends. There you go. Big up. And the only thing I would say is, yeah, win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. I need to go and repair this. What are you laughing at? I need to...
Somebody said, "Jim, get your rat out." I think. I think, come on, maybe I read it wrong. Or Jim Rat out or something. There you go. That's the guy there. Sing Satwant. Jim, you rat. Sorry, guys.
Jim
Sorry,
the Rat Radcliffe, man. We kind of here. We've done it first. We're always doing things first, people. This is the community, but win, lose or draw, Glazers out, bankers out. Manchester United, I think, is a must-win tomorrow. Ten Hag's under a lot of pressure. By any means necessary, he has to win. I think the idea of us asking to play good football are done. Now it's about results, people, because he's not going to get the time.
Ever since you've said that, Nuruddin, it's gone for a nosedive.
Let's just stop doing these podcasts for a few weeks. See if anything happens. See if anything changes.
Right, I'll send you the link. You can start doing the shows. Maybe I need to take a time out. But anyway, love and light, people. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Like I said, go and check out at Bowley77, BOLE77 at TomJournalist1. Make sure you follow the man them. Any updates with anything to do with Manchester United, you will find both on their Twitter pages. So go and follow them. Bumbaye doesn't do Twitter. He does Bumbaye stuff. That's it. He doesn't do Twitter or social media. But big up, it's over. Nearly was 200 of you watching, and we only got 127 likes, and it's disappointing, really. In a night where I'm in a lot of pain, but it is what it is, people. You're all tight like the Glazers when it comes to the likes, and it's only for free. But big up, love and light, win, lose or draw. We'll hopefully be back here tomorrow after the game to do our match reaction. But take care, people. Win, lose, draw, bankers out, Glazers out. R.I.P. to Cathy Ferguson. We're out.
Peace.